Okay, so a lot of you have asked me how my 7-star General Skywalker performs in raids. So I thought I'd make a quick video to cover one aspect of it. I'm not going to cover Rancor or the tank. Rancor is simmable, and there are plenty of better teams which can auto the tank these days. But I'm going to make a series of videos on the Sith raid. In this particular video, I'm going to cover phase 2 of the Sith raid, and I'm going to try out 3 different teams and show you how those teams perform with General Skywalker. I'll cover the mods towards the end of the video, so if you want to know a little bit more about the modding of the characters used in the raid, stick around for that towards the end. So for my very first battle, I decided to take in the pure 501st squad with General Skywalker as the lead, with the 3 501st clones and then Ahsoka. One thing to note is that General Skywalker's lead does not have any offensive boost. It gives him protection and defense and all that other stuff. But unlike Shaak Ti lead or Jedi Knight Anakin lead, it doesn't have any offense boosts. Even Basti lead and Jedi Knight Revan gives offensive boosts, but this one, that's one disadvantage of having no lead for no offense in this lead. The other thing is, this team does reasonably well, but it's probably not the best team to take in, just because your General Skywalker, he ends up taunting all the time. And if you have a Zeta, he does counter a lot. And with Pain on him, he does hit pretty hard. At Relic level 7, he hits up to 150k on a counter. So that's pretty good. But because there's no protection recovery until he gets to cover, what ends up happening with the General Skywalker lead is he ends up, once he goes into cover, as you'll notice right now, he will end up dispelling all the pain that he has on him. There you see, he'll go into cover, and the status effect of pain and suffering, all that is going to get dispelled, and the rest of your team is going to go and end up doing some amount of damage till he recovers. I think they'll take exactly 10 turns, and once those 10 turns are exhausted, Skywalker is going to come out of cover, and you see here, no more pain, and his hits go back to around 40k. So now he has to build the pain and suffering all over again to ramp his damage up again. And already you can see Sion is at 8 turns, and General Skywalker has just and General Skywalker is having to ramp up on the pain and suffering all over again. Rex is the other guy who does decent amount of damage because of his aerial ability, but the others are not really doing as much damage. I think in this particular video my Echo was not as relicked up, but maybe this team is probably capable of doing a little more damage once there are more relics on the team. So here you can see with 6 turns left to go, my 5s is almost down, and I think I lose my 5s over here at this stage. Yes, so before he has a chance to come out of cover, I lose my 5s, which is unfortunate because I'm not able to get the bonus for Echo and Rex on 5 stats. And you can see the second time he's coming out of cover, again he's having to rebuild the offense. The armor shed is something which is really good because it helps to get more damage done, at least for the surrounding clones. And Anakin anyway ignores defense, so for him armor shed doesn't make a difference, but it helps Rex and Echo do a little more damage. And I don't think Snips does much damage over here at all. So this is the final time that he's going to go into cover, and you can see over here Sion has enraged, so he's going to come out, and we're going to end up not doing much additional damage. I think this is just the last one. There we go. And over here we ended up making about 6.2 million. Now that 6.2 may have been about 8 or maybe 9 or 10 once my clones were fully relicked, and maybe if I had a better modding and RNG. But still I feel that Skywalker lead is not the way to go, just because of the pain getting shed. So here I'm trying a different team with Shaak Ti lead to give the offensive boost. and Skywalker as a supporting character. So as you know, Shaak Ti lead gives 15% bonus offense per clone ally to all Galactic Republic. So there's going to be that offensive boost from there, as well as Shaak Ti gives plenty of offense up on a basic. And she also gives, with a Zeta on unique, she gives clones a way to counter using retribution. So these guys end up doing a little more damage as well. And over here, in the previous version, fives would not have been able to taunt. So Echo's damage would not have got the 100% boost. But in this case, fives will taunt. And that means that Echo's damage on basic on every assist is going to be boosted by 100%. And you can see over here the pain is not going to be dispelled on General Skywalker, and he's going to end up doing tons of damage on his basic. And he usually takes it twice in a row, so every time he goes, he ends up doing 300k of damage just like that. Now you'll notice that this run is completely on auto. At this particular run I did not have time to play the Sith raid, so I just kept this team on auto, and it ended up doing pretty much better than the previous version with the full 501st squad, as you'll get to see over here. And it's much quicker as well. So within, right now I'm running it at 1.5 speed, but it takes about 3 or 4 minutes to have this run with Shaak Ti lead clones with General Skywalker. We typically have about 2 to 3 armor shreds, not too many, but that's enough for the clones to do a decent amount of damage over here. So, and this was an auto run. So on a manual run, you'll score much more, especially with better modding. But right now, if I remember correctly, I ended up making about 7 million on an auto run with no relic clones. So this team, I think, has got more promise. If I end up playing this manually and end up putting better mods and relics on these characters, these guys can easily go 10 to 12 million just with this team. So there you go. You see 7.3 million. But I think this team can easily go to 12 million to 15 million if you got the modding right and if you play it manually. It'll still take a very short amount of time to play. I think just 5 or 6 minutes, and you'll end up doing so much damage. Now this third version of the team that I'm trying out is basically the Wampa version. So this is the Beast Mode team, which used to be pretty popular some time back. The General Kenobi, Hermit Yoda, and Wampa are the constants in this team. I've also added in Ahsoka and General Skywalker over here. I've replaced Sabine with General Skywalker since he's able to apply Armor Shred, which is going to help ramp up the damage of Wampa. And I've also replaced Thrawn with Snips over here. So with General Kenobi lead, every time that a Jedi does a team healing ability, you're able to, all the allies are called to assist. So obviously Hermit Yoda has got a team heal. And in addition, Ahsoka's special also has a team heal. So she's also going to call assist on everyone. And at the same time, Grandmaster's training is also there, which can call everyone to assist. And both Wampa as well as General Skywalker do tremendous amounts of damage on their basic. So that's really going to help them ramp up the damage as well. So obviously I have a Relic 7 Wampa, so your mileage may vary depending on the Wampa that you have. But at Relic level 7, both Wampa and Skywalker do crazy amounts of damage. And over here, the General Kenobi lead does not give any offensive boost. It just does give a lot of survivability to the Jedi because of the extra defense and health. But so basically you can get away from cleansing pain if you have General Skywalker lead, General Kenobi lead. And it also helps to call multiple assists from both Hermit Yoda as well as Snips. But I think you can replace Kenobi lead with somebody like maybe Boba for additional critical damage, or with even Jedi Knight Anakin for the additional offensive boosts, or maybe even Jedi Knight Revan and you'll do equally well. So maybe Jedi Knight Revan and maybe put Bastila instead of Snips, and Anakin will have tremendous amounts of offense over there. So we've reached about four away from Enrage, and everyone has got Master's training and assisting quite a lot. With their three main assists over here, well, actually four if you count General Kenobi's Master assist as well. So that basically enables Wampa to go very, very often and build up the damage. So the main damage dealer in this team is Wampa. I think he does about half of the damage, and General Skywalker does another 25 to 30% of the damage. And Snips is really not that beneficial in terms of damage, apart from just calling Wampa and Skywalker to assist. So now we're nearing the end of the run, and Scion is just about to reach Enrage and do damage. And you can see that at the end of the run, I have done about 10 million in damage. So definitely better. So these are the three teams that I tried out. The first one, the Pure 501st, 6.2 million damage. I think it could ramp up to about 8 to 10 million maybe with better relics and mods. The second one, Shaak Ti with the clones and Anakin. That one I think has got more promise. You could maybe reach up to 10 to 15 million easy in that. The Wampa one is more dependent on Wampa. But you know how highly geared your Wampa is, because that was out of the 10 million that I did, 500,000 was done by 5 million was done by Wampa. But I think with a few tweaks that team also can reach up to 15 million. But the main benefit of all these three teams is it goes really fast because the damage is really high. You can finish this your run of 8 to 12 million within 4 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes. And if you do it on auto, it'll be even quicker. And the advantage of that is once you finish that, you can then go back in with your Jedi Knight Revan team, and you know because that run usually takes a little more time, and get another additional 10 to 15 million depending on how you do that. So just because these days the phases go really fast in the Sith raid, you need teams which can do damage quickly so that you can get in with multiple teams. So that's where you really have the advantage with General Skywalker, I think. So let's take a look at the modding of these guys. My 501st, I have modded Ahsoka and Ahsoka for offense, General Skywalker and Echo for damage, and 5s for survivability, Rex for speed. I really haven't changed them from my arena mods, so that's what you're seeing. I'm sure if I optimize them, my run will be a little better. But this is what it looks like right now. About 8,500 damage with 66% critical chance on Skywalker. Ahsoka has about 5,000 damage, 208 speed, 192% critical chance. No relics on her. 5s has got relic level 3, 4,600 damage, and just plenty of health, 86,000. Echo is relic 3, speed 212, damage 6,300 with 40% crit chance. And Rex is just modded for speed. So I think these mods can definitely be tweaked to get some better results. On the Shaak Ti team, Shaak Ti was modded for I think protection, which is usually how I mod her for Grand Arena. Not much damage, not much speed, 246, so nothing too great. And then my Kenobi was modded for defense and health, the way I run him in my Padme team. Who else did I have? Hermit Yoda. Let's go to Hermit Yoda. Hermit Yoda was not too fast, 262. He can definitely go above 300, especially if you have higher geared ones. Mine is only G11. And finally, let's take a look at the Wampa. My Wampa is at 8,800 offense, 70% crit chance, and yeah, and about 64k health. So Wampa is pretty well modded, and quite a lot of offense at R7. So that's a quick breakdown of the mods. I'm sure if I tweak my mods, I can get a little more, but this is just to give a brief overview of the different variations that you can use General Skywalker in P2 of the Sith raid. Once more people unlock him, and once more people have him at 7 stars, I'm sure we'll start seeing more variations of this around, and maybe P2 is not the best phase to run him in. Since I unlocked him, I've just had a chance to run him 3 times in Sith raids. So in my next few videos, I'll try experimenting in P1, in P3, maybe P4 as well, to see if I'm able to get some better results. And I'll update you guys on that a little later. Alright, that's it for this video for now. I will catch you guys later.